Hey everybody, it's Carpo. I didn't mean to turn the camera on, but it turned on, so I'll just do this video really quick that I wanted to do. I just did one about freedom, and so I wanted to do a little addendum to that. Say, what is hate? And where does hate stem from? And that's a very wide question, and it has many different answers. Excuse me. But my honest take on it is that the way that hate's tied in with freedoms, people hate others who feel like they impinge upon either their freedoms or their thoughts. So when a person hates another, let's say because of their religion, which is not a good reason to hate someone, but there are people who do, we find that hate stems from a discomfort knowing that someone else believes something different than they do. And that kind of extends into every facet of society. There are a lot of poor people who hate rich folks. Now, they may not hate them in the sense of hate, true hate, but they very much dislike them and they claim to hate them. Now, do they hate the individuals for anything that people have done? No. They're lumping everybody together as rich people. I understand that, because rich people do the exact same thing to the poor people. They lump them together. And they might hate the poor just for being poor. They might hate the poor not because the people are poor, and not because they should have more. But I think deep down inside, if someone were to hate the poor because they were rich, it would be because of their own discomfort in knowing that being rich, that rich, is wrong when so many people are suffering. Now, this isn't 100% or in every situation, that's just how I would see some of it. And likewise, I would see a lot of, if a poor person hated rich people, it would be because he sees that they're living well and he's not, and he doesn't approve with the way that they live, because they make him feel uncomfortable, like he should have more. So that's just one basis of, money. And then religion is another one, in fear of the belief system that you've developed your entire life being wrong. It's not about you trying to prove it to the other person often as much as you trying to convince yourself. And that's just how people are. When we argue a lot, we have to step back and ask ourselves if we're arguing to show the other person that there's a better way, or to convince ourselves that we're doing it the right way. Or if we're trying to just impose our beliefs on another person to get them to believe what we believe, to make ourselves feel better. There's a lot of different reasons, but I think hate itself, the true hate, the truest hate, stems from, keeping suppression of people, suppression of rights, suppression of services, seeing through the mirage that they call functioning society, And as much as it works, there are a lot of people suffering, and people tend to hate others who they believe repress them, and there's a lot of that going on. And I try to not use hate in my life. I try to avoid that word. In fact, I got that word tattooed across my knuckles. I did that when I was 15 years old, and I was in a bad way. My father had died, I was angry at the world, I was pissed. Why not tattoo hate on my hand? Sure, in retrospect, love would have been better, or even fear, or even cats, or anything but hate. But my friend and I did the same tattoo at the same time, and he's since covered his up with some symbols. And I chose to leave mine because it shows me that there's a side of me that gets angry, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's part of life, is emotion. I was I was watching a documentary about Scientology the other night, and because I'd done a video on it, and I just wanted to kind of learn a little bit more about it, and they consider it success when you've conquered your emotions of fear, your emotions of anger, that you have to conquer anger, that anger is I guess it would be a fault, And I think that's that's what a lot of people tend to think. Not getting angry is, better, for some reason. The truth is, in my opinion, that emotion is inherent within us for a reason. Emotion is what sets us apart from animals that, I'm not going to say animals don't have emotion. I just mean that our reason causes emotion that's different. Perhaps our love may be the same as animal love for each other, who knows? But humans have a lot of discomfort that comes along with thinking too much and with being human. And I think that hate stems from that discomfort of not knowing exactly who we are and exactly who's right. And it shouldn't stem from that. True hate should never exist, but it does. And if it's going to, it should be for the right reasons, toward the right people, those who are keeping us down. But don't forget that a lot of these people aren't even aware of what they're doing. People justify things to themselves every day that they think are right and valid. And even the multi-billionaire whose income has cost thousands of people's and families their jobs or their places of residence, even they find a way to justify things to themselves. This is how people are. We justify everything to ourselves. So remember that there aren't as many people out there who are really physically trying to suppress people. It's just that that's the only way to attain what they know as their way of life. So it's not about hating. It's not about yelling or screaming at one another. It's about making a person look twice at the way they live and trying to get folks to see that there is a better way than disdain for one another. And I've really learned to set aside my differences in this world. And, I know to some people I may appear to be a pretty tolerant, easygoing guy. Those of you who've subbed to me for a while know that I get ornery too. And I have no problem with that. That's life. That's human. I'm not going to put on some facade and pretend like I'm this peace-loving hippie. What's up, dude? I'm out.